This is the beginner's guide for the first days in your Star Trek Voyager across the universe that will help you to survive because the game isn't as easy as it seems. And the first tip straight away that you can actually restart the sector and select the sector that you completed already. That will allow you to change the wrongdoings that you did beforehand, take other paths, and so on. There are 3 different difficulties in the game, and I personally found survival to be pretty challenging. At first it was easy, but don't worry, the further you go, the harder it will get. So if you are experienced player, survival will be a good starting point for you. If you want an easier challenge, go for adventure for the first run, so you will experience the game easier. Years of Hell though will probably put you to an actual test, so take it with consideration when starting the game. Basically, your first whole sector that will last for about 1 to 2 hours is still a tutorial for you, don't worry about that, and just follow the script. So let's start with the basics, the ship. You will start with a totally ruined ship like this, and you will have to repair it. That will require various resources, and this will be one of the main goals for your playthrough. Pretty soon you will repair your ship and you'll be able to build some rooms in your ship, and this is really important. First of all, each room that you construct consumes power, and power is a lifeline. Also, most rooms will also require crew, and crew is hard to get by as well. Early on, you will get them only from specific events and missions, and you can lose them during specific events as well, so be careful with that. By default, you will get 2nd deck and the 5th deck. Life support for those floors are repaired, and you can build anything you want in them and clear them from debris. Keep in mind that clearing from debris will give you the resources, your duranium and tritanium. So make sure that you have free storage space for those resources when you finish the cleaning. So make sure that you have free storage when you finish the cleaning. So it takes a couple of cycles to do that, and even after it's completed, they will not complete automatically. So let's wait a couple of cycles, and you will get notifications, the construction report when it's done. So if you're flying around and you get notifications that one of your buildings is completed, you can enter the ship, and you have an option to close it as well. If you close it, it will automatically finish all actions, which is not great. When you enter the ship though, you can manually finish the task, and if you have the full storage, you will waste the resources. This is important moment here. There are a lot of options to micro your gameplay. This is one of those. So basically, you can use the cargo base that you have in order to switch the resources that they store. In order to do that, find the resource that you store in the cargo bay. In our case, it will be, I guess, food. So, for example, if our storage is full right now and finishing this will waste even more resources, we can select one of the cargo bays that store other type of resources that can stay like that without moving, that will not go over the capacity, and switch it to the resource that we need. Bam! That will allow us to claim the building then and use those resources to something. Another option will be ordering another construction. And if you order the buildings, you will spend the resources and then you can claim the building that you have available. Or if you use the storage, you order the building, then you can switch it back to something else. This goes the same way for all the systems that you try to scout. So in case if you want to get extra metal right now and food, well, we are in trouble. We don't have storage for that. But yeah, in that case, you leave for now, go back into your ship and micromanage your storage yet again. So yeah, make sure that you have at least 2 to 3 cargo bays, because that will allow you to manage your inventory easier. You can also upgrade those buildings when you do the research. That will increase the storage capacity. The reserves on your ship will last for longer, and you'll be able to travel easier without that much microing. Now let's talk about the second micromanagement system, power. Warp core that you have here producing power based on the deuterium consumption. And the deuterium is really hard to come by most of the time, and it can run out so easily. So you want to make sure that you're not pulling too much energy straight away at the start of the game. When you still didn't build up a lot, you can actually go for the gray mode that will not consume the power, but it will generate 60 electricity for you straight away. Because basically you don't have the buildings that consume too much power, so even activating all the life support and having a couple of buildings still won't pull all the juice out of you. Later on though, it won't be an option. We already have 150 power requirement here, and that drains our power reserve so easily. What we can do, we can lower it to tier 1, and we basically drain 28 power from the batteries right now, which is not a long-term solution. So what can we do? We can turn off some specific buildings that consume power that you don't need straight away, like shuttle bay, like aero shuttle bay, although you won't get the trades then. Most of those are not great anyway. It's dangerous, but you can turn off the shield if you know that you won't encounter any enemies. And phaser control room, and it runs to -1 already. Also, keep in mind that the battery compartment also consumes 1 power, so that can be used for micro as well. There are some buildings you definitely don't want to turn off. For example, navigational deflector. If you turn it off, you will take damage from surrounding areas, so basically every tick you will take damage. It's protecting you from outside space, debris and radiation and stuff. So this one must stay. Most other buildings, though, are pretty viable option to be unavailable from time to time, and it's totally based on your situation. It's your turn to min-max it or just play comfortably. But yeah, there is definitely no need to put extra strain on your power demand and supply, so yeah, that will save up some deuterium and it will make your adventures easier. Speaking of easier adventures, you have cool research tree over here with a lot of science. You can zoom out, sadly, so it's really hard to navigate. And there are a lot of things, and you can get lost here quite easily, but I will help you out. The thing is, research system is a bit complicated here. First of all, you will need the various resources to start the research, mainly the research points. Then, in order to research technologies that are lower, you will need to research the tier of the research, which will cost resources as well. For example, you start with tier 1 unlocked by default, but if you want to go for tier 2, that will cost you 70 science, 15 cycles, and 5 of those premium components. I forgot their name, but they are really valuable. So my tip for you early on would be to focus on engineering, maybe some science, because that is really awesome. You want to increase your efficiency. When you just start out, you will have a couple of research tier 1 available. So I advise you guys to take plasma torch straight away, because this is a long-term gains, and that will allow you to get more resources from clean the rooms. And since you will do that a lot, that will benefit you quite well, especially if you take it early before you clean most of your ship. Later on, the next technology will allow you to deconstruct your buildings for full refund. That will allow you to move them between the areas and optimize your build. Although most of those things are not that great, and you will need tier 2 for extra research. So the must-have from tier 1 is plasma torch, mass hall level 2, but you will go through this in the tutorial, probably field training that will allow your heroes to level up faster, and depending on how trigger happy you are, hull reinforcement will help you a lot. That actually saved my life back in the day, and I'm glad that I took this research. But if you want to be diplomatic, you probably can miss this one out. Depending on the events you will complete in your previous chapters, you might unlock more technologies or not, but you can get buzzard collectors that will allow you to get more deuterium from the events and maybe later on get passive deuterium gains. I'm not sure. Cargo bay level 2 was a lifesaver to me because it allowed me to micromanage inventory easier. And we got this nice technology here that will improve the engine speed by 10%. That means lower time for flying around and more time and less fuel consumed. I've seen a couple of events that can benefit from second shuttle, but it's still a pretty expensive investment just to get those shuttles ready. Then in science tier 2, something like away mission bonus transporter room level 2 is nice because that will allow you to get more resources from, well, transporter missions. You will definitely need biolaboratory and hydroponics bay at some point, a level 2, but most importantly, your tier 3 engineering research, which can be quite costly, but it's worth it, will give you warp core efficiency 1. And this is great because it will allow you to get 6 energy per deuterium. And now we have 5 energy per deuterium, which is like 20% increase right there. And that will allow you to either lower down your deuterium consumption or increase your power production, so you'll be able to build more stuff on your ship. In any case, that will improve your efficiency quite a lot. Also, as you can see, I have a lot of crew members assigned to the buildings. Make sure to do that once you can, because some assignments can be really nice. For example, the hero in the mess hall, this Neelix dude, allows us to get 5 morale every cycle, which is very efficient, especially if you have issues with the morale. It will definitely save you up later down the road. Research rate is great as well because that will allow you to research stuff faster. And transporter room hero is pretty cool as well because it gives you percentage to hero skill in away missions. That means a bit higher chance of success, and even a little bit helps, as you guys know, so that is a no-brainer. Put your best command hero over here, which I should do right now, 4%. So yeah, depending on the situation, managing your ship with the proper power management crew management and resource management will help you a lot, especially in your long-term journey. Now, let's talk about sector exploration. Let me scan those planets really fast. And once you know what's in the system, you can plan ahead based on your resources and your needs. In our case, we're pretty stacked, we're good. So our goal will be finishing the quests right now. But in case if you don't have the full inventory, I advise you guys to go in a pattern, let's put it like that. So basically how I would survey this system. I would go starting from this class planet L, go all the way up through all those systems. Like this planet will give us the lithium, which is great as well. And then jump to the right and go through those planets like that. Basically, what does it do? It will lower the amount of travel time you need to travel between the areas, because your travel time is when you consume your resources, which is not always the thing you want to do. Most of the time you don't, right? Also, my tip for you would be focusing on other side missions before focusing on your especially main quest missions, because those can push you through the sector pretty fast, and when you're done, you need to jump to the next sector. And I'm not sure how impatience and homesick system works. Is it based on the total cycles passed in the area, or it's based on when you are done with the mission and stay in the sector for too long, but that will damage your morale a lot. So let's talk about morale a little bit. Keep in mind, guys, that there is a homesick mechanic in the game, and the further you are into the game, the more important it will get. Basically, what it does, your crew lose morale every cycle, and in the third sector, it's already -5. Also, if you stay in the area for too long and you get too many past cycles, or if you complete all the missions and you can go to the next sector already, you will start getting even higher level of homesick, and your morale debuff will add up to a really high amount, so be careful about that. Speaking about morale, from time to time you will get tasks like this one, dissatisfaction. You will have several options of what you can do, and if you don't complete that mission as well, you will lose extra morale for that. If you complete it properly though, you will be able to boost the morale of your crew. In the first few sectors it doesn't matter that much, your morale usually stays at really high levels, but later on it will be an important gameplay mechanics, because if you run out, you will lose. So this is one of those morale choices that you will be offered. Basically, you will have a limited amount of time to complete the task and different tasks to choose from. You can select any of those that you like, one of those, and if you don't want to, you can say not now. You will still have morale penalty, but I think it's lower than the one if you fail the task. So right, let's talk a bit about exploration. Let's go to the system over here and see what we can do over there. Every time you approach an event, you will have various missions that you can do. And depending on your equipment, level up, steam, and such, you will have different options. Right now, we have 2 options available. And as you can see, those outcomes are, well, pretty nasty. Basically, how it works. When you see several colors, the percentage of the area color, it means the percentage of this event happening. So in this case, it's like 33% for 3 various outcomes. The greeniest one is like perfect outcome, then there is a okay good one, and the bad one is horrible. And you don't want the horrible to happen because it can kill your team, it can damage your ship, it can be really nasty. So always evaluate if you want to try one way or another and which one will work better for you. So let's try this one and see what happens if we end up in the bad area. Average area, we managed to get 4 resources instead of 6, but it was pretty safe, right? But we ended up in the red area right now for this event, and that allowed 3 crew members to die, lose morale, and get a really low amount of resources. Sometimes it can be even worse, you get no resources, but for me personally, losing the crew members seems really bad. The same thing happens on the event missions when you beam up your guys. Now let's talk a bit about the combat, the actual space combat, which can be tricky and dangerous. I had a very unpleasant encounter beforehand that damaged my hull a lot, and it's not only repairing your hull. A lot of systems are broken and you will need to repair that, so make sure that you do the right decisions. Make sure to get the right team ready for action, and your main goal will be destroying enemy shields to launch a torpedo, because otherwise you will probably get your ship destroyed. Auto-resolve is not always the best option. You will probably suffer catastrophic damage, so let's go into the fight. Make sure that you micro everything, and keep in mind that on the left you have your power controls, so depending on your systems you can adjust power to where it's needed. So how defensive actions work? You decide the side that you want to use the shield on. That's very important, and it was never told to me before in the tutorial. So if you select to defend bow, it will try to face the front to the enemy ship. So all the shots will go into the front. Look at them, they're way stronger than we are. So yeah, that will allow you to kind of cycle your shield. So when your frontal shield is depleted, you would like to go to the side shields instead. That will allow you to kind of balance the damage taken. Now, offensive actions is where you want to shoot. And I think it works the same way. So all those systems are nice, but it will also damage the shield on that side. In our case, we would like to try to aim for weapons, and you can use these skills properly in order to maximize the damage. When the shield's down, you really would like to select the other area to be shielded and use evasive maneuvers so you will not take extra damage. If you're losing the subsystem, your ship will get weaker, and you will probably have issues. In that case, you can use initiate repairs that will allow you to repair the systems that are broken. And yeah, losing the shield is actually the worst than losing the engine. Make sure that you have at least 1 health in each system. That will allow it to work, while you will be able, well, at least try to avoid the enemies. Let's try to destroy their shields. And when the shields are destroyed, you launch the torpedo in the side where there are no shields, and that will usually help you a lot with the combat. Then you'll get the rewards, but taking the damage is still horrible. I was really slow this fight to show you how it works, and I will show you what happens if you lose quite a lot of hull. Oh yeah, also don't forget that your choices has consequences, and some of those can be really important. So yeah, and it's pretty cool that you can save in the game properly, so you will have one continuous playthrough, which is, I actually think it's great. Most people complain about that. There is a way how you can save scum and export the save files, load them, all that stuff. And I heard the developers are working on the save system right now. Maybe it's out already when you're watching this video. But yeah, personally, I find it's way more fun without the save files. So yeah, that's what happens with our ship when we take a lot of hull damage. We lose some buildings, and it will require resources to repair them as well. And time as well. And since all our engineering offices are on the same floor, now we need to repair this life support to access that area. So what do you want to do? Don't do my mistake and place engineering offices in different floors. Especially the floor 2 seems to be the easiest one to access. So yeah, I advise you guys to have a couple of engineering offices. I have 3 right now, and then use them in order to expand and grow faster. So yeah, taking extra damage during the fight is quite painful, so you really don't want to do that. Keep in mind that if you will complete all your missions in the sector, you will have to go to the next sector, so try to explore the systems pretty fast. Otherwise, last time I managed to explore 2 planets out of 4. And then I had to do it in overtime when the morale dropped rapidly, so yeah, don't wander around too long. Speaking of damage, if you damage your hull, there is a way to fix that. You will assign one of your work teams in order to repair the hull. That will pause all the construction they are doing right now, but you will be able to gain 3 hull repairs per 1 duranium consumed every tick. You can assign several teams like that, so it will make those guys work. They will be available to do that as well. And you can always pause the current production and start a new one. That will allow you to micromanage the thing if needed. Also keep in mind that starting from Sector 3, you will have the Sector Threat level. That means the longer you wander around, the higher the chance that you will be attacked by someone. So yeah, you gotta get ready for that, and you want to get your game right so you will not be destroyed by enemies quickly, and don't allow them to damage you too much like they did to me. And there we go, the ambush. That's what happens if you wander around for too long. Let's try to do auto-resolve and see how it will go. Hull damage risk, survival chance 93%, hull is 233, so let's see how much damage. Let's add torpedoes. Okay, using torpedoes increase our damage, so basically, depending on the amounts used, we will have the auto game chance, and the same as you do the normal space events. So let's do with 2 torpedoes and see how it will go. Bam, it will wander around and end up in some area. Hull status 16%. Wow, we took a lot of damage. So the thing is, if you will run out of morale, you will still have some time to recover your morale. That's what happened to me, because I tried to do it really horrible this time, and yeah. But if you won't do that, you will get immunity on your hands. Now let's talk about sending your team away. Depending on the challenges and recommended traits, you would like to send different crew members. And my tip for you guys is to first of all level everyone up. So don't focus on one specific character, just work on everyone. That will do pretty well. And then when you're sending the guys on the team, make sure that you have someone with recommended trait. We now need survivalist, so let's send Chakotai with us. Moreover, he suits this mission very well. But one character can't do everything, so you would like to have at least 2 alternating characters. So if Mr. Chakotai will use his weapons every time, he will get exhausted really fast. So we want to use one skill here, another skill here, and so on. So for example, let's select someone with pretty high diplomacy option. There we go. Neelix will do, so we can do those 2 checks like that. And he also helps with the technical, and we'll send someone else with a technical skill and maybe the morale. There we go. So this way, when you are on a mission, you will be able to take different tasks in the order. But keep in mind that you don't know beforehand what rewards will be, and probably sometimes you want more of this or that. In this case, survivalist bonus makes sense. Bam! There we go, we got lucky, we got a result, but now Chakotai is tired and he will perform worse in the next challenge. If we will send him all the time, it will probably won't that well. So let's send someone else on the next event. All good. And on the next event, we can send someone. All good. And then you figure out what to do after that based on the situation. So I wanted to use the combat skills here, but the chance of survival are slim. Also, some of those choices will affect your gameplay, so make sure to follow the story. And I would like to get some crew members, but that's not an option. Also, there is a risk. And the higher the risk, the higher the chance to injure or even kill one of your crew members that are on the mission. And if that will happen, you will lose them forever. And that will hinder your progression a lot, so make sure not to lose your crew members. So let's send 2 of those guys. That will also give us the chance of getting critical success. And we have another mission again, but this time we have everyone fatigued. So let's hope for the good result. Nice, we managed. Sometimes RNG is RNG and you can end up in a very horrible place. Trust me. But yeah, in the end, based on your performance and critical successes and everything, you will get experience that will be awarded to the team on your event. It's pretty cool. It's like dispatch-like, basically. It's a fun mechanic. So yeah, other than that, try to make a good run, not what I did here for the tutorial, and make sure to stock up on the resources. Also, another tip I've checked on the internet, haven't checked it myself, don't go for Borg technologies early on because they will increase your threat level and you probably will have issues because of them, and they will give you more harm than good. But yeah, your rule of thumb will be managing your inventory, making sure that you have food for your people, energy and deuterium for your engine at all times. That will allow you to succeed and survive. And yeah, eating normal food seems to be the easiest way to support your crew because premium replicators consume too much deuterium, emergency rations, exhaust the morale, and normal food seems to be just right. And yeah, the last small tip, you can press X and hold it, or just press that button at the bottom in order to skip the cycle if you don't want to fly anywhere. It might be useful at times. And yeah, let me know if you have extra tips for the new players for Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. You can share them down below in the comments and more people can read them. Also, like and subscribe to promote the video on YouTube algorithm, and check out the video description for the playlist with more episodes, guides, and that kind of stuff. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. It's been Stan Kosh. Have a good one. Bye.